Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Palai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2: Deadfire. Last episode, we spoke with a person who needed speaking to in the bathhouse for Seraphim, and then went into Archimir's manor and snuck through and managed to get things. Unfortunately, he seems to be aware, and now he wants to speak with us, so let's go speak with him. At least we can get right in. Let's see what he wants to talk to us about. In his study, there's his study. Well, at least these guys are not going hostile to us. And there is Archimir. Hello.
I trust you had no trouble finding the place?
Sighing, Archimir glances up from a roll of parchment. He takes up a quill and draws several lines across a calendar entry, digging the nib hard enough that scratching fills the silence.
Neketaka is either a testament to the ancient Huana's love of labyrinths, or their hatred of straight lines.
He grimaces and rearranges several of the objects situated around his desk. Age, not the Huana, has set the bones of the city at crooked angles.
Sadly, I did not invite you here for a discussion of city planning. I warn you to stay your hand and treat with me better than you did poor Consulate.
He pauses to study your reflection with interest. Consulate didn't give me much of a choice, I'm afraid. Sighing, he raps his knuckles on the top of his desk.
But let us get to the business of the hour, shall we?
He opens his palms.
My estate was recently burgled. My vault breached.
He sighs, drawing a sheaf of papers closer and then pushing them away. I'd be happy to track down the culprits for you.
This will go better for you if you don't insult my intelligence. At the Circle's behest, I'm expected to show restraint in these dealings.
His nails dig into the armrest of his chair. A tearing sound fills the silence between you.
You manage not to rouse a peep out of my servants. If nothing else, the lack of disruption is appreciated.
You're welcome.
I am less pleased about the Harappo epic resting in the hands of those who lost it once before.
In the hands of its rightful owners, you mean?
Did I ask a question?
Archimir glances to the left and right. He waits before continuing.
The Circle of Archmagi wishes for us to put this unpleasantness in the past with a gesture of good faith.
When he finishes his air quotes, his elbow knocks over an inkwell. Archimir simply glares at the spilled ink until it retreats back into its receptacle. Go on.
The Circle has expressed concerns about a certain mobile deity. The Deadfire is a fragile place, and a blundering soul drain like Aethys can damage more than just castle keeps.
The Deadfire will be lucky if any of its reefs endure this long walk of his.
Indeed. It isn't our desire that you apprehend the deity. That simply isn't practical. We need your help in preparing for the worst possible outcome.
Archimir presses his thumb down on a spider crawling across his desk. His upper lip pulls back with delight.
Normally, the Circle's involvement constitutes the worst possible outcome. Or have you already forgotten the Blackwash Falls incident?
Aloth watches Archimir through narrowed eyes.
Kalakoth replaced the water. What more do you desire? An apology?
Archimir turns his nose up at Aloth. This isn't just restitution. The Circle is worried.
We do not worry. We measure, and the resulting value dictates action. You are only involved because it is advantageous for knowledge of the Circle's involvement to remain discreet. The wizard Bikana installed an observatory due northeast of Neketaka. For your absolution, the Circle asks that you locate her research.
And what are you hoping to learn from the stars?
That the Circle's concerns are utterly unfounded, of course. No doubt you'll recognize the appropriate documents. You have an eye for valuables.
And why ask me and not Bakarna?
She vanished from academic research, and therefore her livelihood. All signs point to her lab being abandoned.
Alright, I'll get your research notes.
Fair warning. A vessel flying the sigil of the Torn Bannerman set a course for the observatory.
Frowning, Arkemir sifts among his correspondence until he sets upon the one he seeks.
I have every reason to believe they travel armed.
They're elite mercenaries. We faced off at the siege of Cragholt.
Did I inquire after your personal history? My interest begins and ends at a single point. That someone of great means desires abandoned arcane research. Research which we disregarded. Come back alive. Or not at all. Now, if you don't mind, I have a manor to restore. And a security system to reevaluate.
He frowns toward the door before returning his focus back to his desk. Alright, so northeast of Nekataka. I don't think we're going there quite yet. Either way, I never really did take a good look at the items we picked up. So, a two-handed Morning Star. It's like a regular one, but does corrode damage every 12 seconds. With addition, meaning 5% chance to kill near-death target. Okay. Or 5% chance to paralyze. That seems actually better, if I was to get it. And we also have Kabbalist Gambison, which is exceptional and has extra armor against spells, with bonuses being hostile effect duration, beneficial effect duration, and a chance to reflect spells. Interesting abilities. You are medium. You are light, you have your own armor. Ring of Overseeing, for even more area of effect. That would be good. The cloak would be good. Actually, it's better than the Cloak of Protection. Do these... yeah, that does give another boost. Oh. So yeah, that Cloak of Protection is better. I can give this one to you. Actually, no. I am giving this one to Jyoti. As for these boots, extra deflection against disengagement attacks, and you move faster. The Ring of Overseeing I'm giving to you. The extra area would be good. Deflection against disengagement attacks and stride. You're currently wearing 10% stride and +1 resolve. Don't think I have anything else boosts resolve, so I want to keep the resolve boost. So... You would be a good choice. And I don't think I need the Stone of Power. Alright. And we have 34,000 coin. Do I want to improve anything? What if I want to do one of these? That's from all sources. And that grants Soul Smite instead of Soul Strike, which I haven't bothered with. That is something. What about the sword, Duskfall? Higher action speed and additional penetration. Let's see. Bonus accuracy and damage for the first weapon attack at the start of combat, or bonus deflection for a brief time. Misses converted to grazes. Crit damage. I'll be honest, I kind of like the idea of misses converted to grazes. It means I'll be hitting even more often. I think it's worth it to take this. I'm not gonna... Ooh, can copy that. Let's see. Your armor is going to stay on. We can do rock solid for less crush damage or less of that. Resistance perception affliction or... Where is immune to any attacks targeting reflex until they are hit twice by other attacks. That actually sounds good. So slash damage taken and then a veteran's maneuver I like. I think I'll go with that. Veteran's Scars. I'm fine with getting a few upgrades to our people. I have already upgraded this with Light of the Dawn Star. What about this? I cannot do either of those, unfortunately. I could make it exceptional. Costs 5,000. I don't know if I want to spend that much. You've got the hand mortar. Grants Misotheist. Reject the power of the gods. Aura grants party chance to reflect punishment and condemnation attacks. And further, bonus to all defenses except deflection for 30 seconds for nearby allies on scoring kill. You've got some good things. And your armor... bonus for elemental and bonus for defenses against attacks. That's more defenses. Yeah, I think elementally stable is a very good one. A little more armor rating for elemental abilities, and that's for... And that's also just crush in addition, which would be good. That one just adds pierce and slashing. So I think this is fine. Elementally stable and structurally stable would be good. I'll take elementally stable. That's fine with me. Alright. Can I put these books in other people's hands? No. Okay. Well, that's all there. I'm going to go back to, the dock, because I want to see what the next ship is, Actually, before I do... I just want to speak to the person here again.
A drink, madam?
See if she has anything to say. Stop moving.
Look for something in particular?
You don't seem very happy here. Why not voyage with me for a change? Sighing, Facina leans her weight on the countertop and surveys her surroundings.
Madiko, I fought so hard to get here, but I won't miss a splinter of this place.
Though she doesn't raise her voice, she pounds the countertop as if she had.
Hey, imp! I quit. For what it is worth, I have not enjoyed a moment of our time together.
Huh? Make Master angry. Arkamir will grow a turnip in nasty Facina's mouth.
The imp looks ready to say more, but hesitates.
Be safe. Many horrors out there.
His tone softening, his eyes downcast, the imp gestures dismissively toward the door, offering no further elaboration.
Agrasima, I think. Corres.
Facina gives the imp a quizzical look.
Wherever you're headed, it can't be worse than here.
Smiling a little, she flashes you a casual salute. Oh, she can be a wizard. You know what? Definitely, take it. I'll take her for a moment, so that we can speak with her. Alright, what is she currently wearing? Valian clothing, and she has Facina's grimoire. Which, I mean, that's a thing. I don't know her overall spells. And she has a fine wand. Unfortunately, I didn't well... I mean, that would be comedic. She doesn't seem very happy.
Agrasima, how you dote on me, Captain.
And she doesn't have a reputation. She's just what she is. Yeah, she's not a companion, she's one of the others. Whatever they're called. Oh, I didn't realize I could export characters. Not that I'm going to. Okay, well, how about we speak with her?
Casita, I'm glad we have this chance to talk.
Facina folds her arms and glowers.
I have not properly thanked you for taking me away from that place.
You mean the dark cupboard?
That shop and my apprenticeship were like a diving bell, dragging me all the way to the bottom with barely enough air to survive. Arkamir was fond of tormenting me. If he had taught me anything of substance, I might even have endured his wretched company a while longer. In any case, now I am free to study the world, and it is because of you. So, now I will say it. Agrasina.
What did you want to learn that only Arkemir can teach?
Ah, what a question.
Fasina clucks her tongue on the roof of her mouth and nods.
Arkemir is elusive. That flamboyant house of his? It is all a performance, a mask that people will not think to peer beneath. I had a sneaking suspicion that he knows more about magic than the rest of the circle combined. Or maybe he is just an accomplished liar. I may never know the truth.
Are you interested in any particular areas of study?
It is a funny thing. I was so quick to chase my ambitions, as if an apprenticeship would outline the course of my life. In the end, I was building a castle in the sand. The taller it rose, the harder the waves swept in to batter it down. Now I have no plan, and the uncertainty is a refreshing change.
Before we head out, any thoughts on our travels so far?
Right now, I desire nothing more than to enjoy my liberation. I will worry about the problems of the world as they come.
I'm curious about you.
I came to the archipelago as a groveling apprentice. One day, I hope I will leave it with a speck more dignity than that. What more could you desire to know, Casita?
Ever aspire to be an Archmage yourself?
Not if it means I must submit to a bickering council of madmen plotting against each other. If I ever scribed a spell, it would be the best-kept secret in Eora. Only I would enjoy the satisfaction of knowing it. Fasina's mirthless laugh. Fasina's prickling pox. No, I have it. Fasina's withering glare. I like the sound of that.
I admit I like the sound of that one too. That's not a bad idea. How'd you get into Archemir's employ?
Being a part of the circle has its little perks, but also some headache-inducing responsibilities. At least one member must always watch over the Deadfire and see that matters do not fall into total disarray. Arkemir wanted the job about as much as he wanted to lance a boil on his deflated scrotum. But the alternative was giving stewardship to Maura. No one in the circle trusted her with the archipelago.
What did they have against Maura?
With trading companies dividing up the islands, they didn't think a Huana could stay detached. They also hate tentacle magic. During the changing of the guard, while a handful of imps loaded Arkemir's ship for the journey south, I stowed away in a dresser. Once we were at sea, I made my presence known. A dozen imps tore at my hair and pushed me towards the railing. When Arkemir saw me struggle, he didn't step in to help. He just gave me work. I did what I could to make myself useful. Stitched the sails, disciplined the imps. That one impressed him most of all. By the end of the voyage, I had the little stinkers saluting me as I passed.
Fasina cracks her knuckles and grins at the memory.
When we made port in Neketaka, he introduced me as his apprentice and installed me at the cupboard for a life of clerical drudgery. You know the rest.
You and Berteno didn't seem especially well paired.
I was searching for a life beyond the cupboard, and that handsome oaf was blessed with a silver tongue. Came in handy when he was licking the boots of his creditors. I don't regret our time together. That was just a different Fasina.
And what do you want to do with your education?
I have always dreamed of opening a magic shop in Neketaka.
Fasina sighs wistfully and looks off into the distance, pushing a lock of hair past her ear.
That was a joke.
She grins back at you.
When I set out on this path, I discovered quickly that magic is all tied up in grammar, precision, and insufferable rules. Take a grimoire, for example. Misplace an accent mark over a rune, all the logic of a spell collapses around it.
Okay, I can see that. Go on.
I don't want to break the rules of magic, but I want to rewrite some of them. Loosen them up so that any sharp mind can take up the study. The Circle would hate that, wouldn't they? If they could not reinforce their superiority over the rest of us, they might even disband.
Fasina chews her thumbnail and smiles. Interesting idea. You must have some thoughts about Aethys and the other gods.
You assume a great deal, Casita. When they are not striding across an island, the gods concern me about as much as Eora's moons. Religion was never very important to me. I do not expect that to change now that the gods have revealed their petty, narrow-minded ways.
So, you know the gods are artificial, right?
I heard a member of your crew whispering of this, but I am pleased to have it confirmed.
Fasina narrows her eyes and looks off to the distance.
Knowing this forbidden truth, Does it change anything for you?
I'm not sure.
Perfetto.
Facina gives a slow, mirthless applause.
If the gods are not as legitimate as we once assumed, does this make them any less our gods? Does it make your Ardra Colossus retrace his steps back to Cad Nur? As far as revelations go, this one is not very poignant for me. Maybe I'm just the wrong audience. Nothing takes me by surprise.
Honestly, it's good that she brings it up that way, because it's a big revelation. Everyone goes in and talks about this revelation that the gods were formerly the Anguithans as a big, massive change. They're not real gods. They're not gods. They're just pretenders, pretending to be gods. But she makes a good point. Something that isn't really addressed here. There's often in many stories tales of people who ascend to become gods, and arguably, that's what they did. There were no gods before, so they ascended and became gods. So, it's... She makes a good point with what she said there. Does it... If they're not as legitimate as we once assumed, does this make them any less our gods? And in fact, that does actually bring to the question of what constitutes a god? Does one have to create something in order to be a god? Or can one ascend to become a god? Is one a god because they rule over some aspect and define it? Do they control an aspect in its entirety, something beyond us, in order to be a god? It really is a question. What is a god? And the gods in this case, they may not have created everything, but one must wonder, does that make them any less of gods? Back to my other questions.
Ask away, Kazita.
Any thoughts about our companions?
I do not hate Tekehu for his arrogance. I only hate that he deserves it.
Huh.
Shoti is like a beautiful tree with poisoned roots. Her smile is the bark which hides the rot. In Pallegina, I see a little something of myself, but she takes it to an unhealthy place. Without leadership and a mission, I think she would cease to exist.
Oof.
Your friend Aloth carries himself with confidence, but to me he seems like a small animal in search of shelter. Always Constantine hovers over me, asking to recommend him exciting books, as if I would ever touch fiction.
Disappointing.
Seraphin has a large heart, but he hides it under foul language. This is something I can understand. Keep an eye on Maya. I'll say no more than that. Seraphin has a large... In Palegi, keep an eye... I do not hate Shoti.
Is that all of them? No.
In Palegi, I do not hate Shoti. Your friend, keep an eye... Always, Seraphin. Always, your friend, Seraphin, Shoti. Keep an eye... I do not hate...
Okay, she doesn't have anything to say about, Adair. Why did I blank on his name of all people?
No problem.
Either way, that's basically everyone. Alright, I'm going to head to the main area because I want to see how much the next level of ship is. We might have some things to sell there, too. Actually, yeah, hold on. I believe I have things I can put in. Ooh, that is very valuable. 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0. More water. Plus 1 plus 0 plus 3. And then we gotta put all these in. Whoop, 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 up, up, up. There we go. And one of these. This can go in here. Seafood stew can stay. I think for the most part this is all fine. We're gathering up resources. I'm never gonna do the kith meat. The Whale's Wind. Yeah, I'll put that in. I think that's basically everything. And I think we can sell some of these things too. Like the sails, we don't need the sails. Definitely not. The cannons too, for what they are, I think we can sell some of them. Alright, either way, I think that'll do for the most part. Now, let's head south. I need to make a stop at the inn down there so that I can swap out people. Let's see, the Wild Mare, there it is. We do need to find someone who's sailing around to the south somewhere.
Now, you see anything you...
Yes, thank you very much. I am going to swap you
As
back.
you say.
I never did speak with Merca, did I? And Merca leveled up, so athletics and insight, I suppose. You're a monk. You do monk things. Attack at long range, no. Okay, you have that. Torment's Reach actually sounds amusing. That sounds like it would be good. This, I'll get that. That's fine. I already gave her an ability, I think. So, I don't think we've spoken with her. Let's speak with her.
Damn me, the cops run dry.
She has absolutely nothing to say. Very well then.
You see anything?
Okay, so take you out and take Aloth back in. And we're probably going to change who we have with us
Sure.
sometime soon. Alright. Like I said, I just want to see how much the next tier of ship is. Little bit of a run, but we can get up there easily enough. Come on, you can get there. Almost. There you are.
Business comes and goes. Oh.
So let's see, the next one is 18,000. That would leave us with 7,000 gold. I think we could afford it. Screw it. We'll take a Voyager. Why not? And now I'm going to take everyone out so that I can swap everything over. I'm going to need to remember everything here. Alright, all of you come over here. Boom, 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 boom. We got that. We have the Valera sails. We have that. Scavenger's Lantern is something new, and the rest is all standard. We go on to this. So, change that. Change that. Change that. Change that. Only 3 cannons. Oh, those are cannoneer spots. Okay. So, let's see. You're a deckhand. Wait, are you the one we wanted? I can't remember. Cannoneer Cook, Helmsman Navigator. Okay, Beadle, you're a helmsman. You are a deckhand. I think you can be a navigator. Where's the navigator? Navigator, there it is. So, navigator there. Cook and cannoneer. You are a cook, I believe. We have only got one surgeon, so you're on the surgeon. That leaves a deckhand and cannoneer. So you're a cannoneer. Then we've got... You're a deckhand. You're a cannoneer, and... We don't have another cannoneer. We're gonna need to find one somewhere. That's a bother. Huh. We may need to buy one. That's interesting. Well, as for random people, I can put you as resting. You can be resting, and... You can be resting. That'll do. We're gonna need to find another cannoneer. Well, either way, we do have a bunch of things, so... With that, I am gonna have to end this episode here. It's starting to go a little long. So... Next episode, we're gonna have to set sail for something. Somewhere. I don't know what, but we'll set sail for somewhere. But that'll be in the next episode. So, until then, I am Chester44. I'll stand in his fly. That is Laniara, Adair, Jolty, Seraphim, and Alof. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, and I shall see you all next time.